everyone. I'm Heather Sky McFeel with the Young, Gifted, and Black Entrepreneurial Awards. I am here at Suede with Susan Cameron, the 2017 recipient of the Health and Human Services Award. Hi, Susan.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
I'm great. I really want to congratulate you on receiving this award. And I also want to ask how it felt when you got the call.
Well, thank you. It actually felt very humbling to be acknowledged in this capacity. I don't think I've ever received such an acknowledgement before, so I felt very humbled by it.
That's nice. Tell us what you do.
So professionally, I am a licensed clinical social worker, and I have been in the field for over 15 years, and I work at a healthcare institution in Brooklyn.
So what does it entail? What does a day-to-day look like for you in your industry?
So my industry really involves helping people achieve the goals that they want to achieve in their lives, whether it's finding a job, whether it's coping with family dynamics, whether it's overcoming stress, whether it's, just finding a place to live, and also helping support the staff that do the work day to day.
So what made you decide to get into social work?
I've always been interested in working with people. That's always been a passion of mine. So when I went to college, I was always interested in working in the field of psychology and didn't really have a sense of what direction I wanted to go in. And then I had a professor who was a social worker who really inspired me and informed me of the profession and what the profession entails.
So you would say that it's been a rewarding decision?
Oh, absolutely. I had no prior knowledge of what social workers did before I went to college. And this one particular professor really exposed me to the field and really the depth of the profession and all the different capacities in which social workers can impact the community.
Wow. When I was in college, I was studying sociology, and so I had a lot of interactions with people that were studying social work. And I often heard that it was like really crazy. What would you say are some of the challenges that you've experienced?
I think some of the challenges in the field of social work are really looking at some of the systemic issues that really make it difficult for the people that we work with to receive some of the services that they are supposed to get or really need to get to be able to maintain themselves in the community. So it's really fighting challenges of folks not having the proper benefits to get access to proper care, or motivating our individuals that we're working with to help them succeed, or really sometimes even working with the families who are stressed out by some of the challenges that their loved ones feel or experience. So kind of helping support all of them, all while trying to get them connected to services are some of the difficulties that we face.
I'm sure. So I know that motivation is a big deal, and it's not the easiest thing to do. Can you give us like an example of a situation where you were able to motivate someone?
Yeah, I think really looking at taking what somebody wants, right? I think as professionals in this field, we sometimes have our own goals for the people that we work with, but really have to start with what they want, right? And even if it's something that's extravagant or something that's minute, it's really starting there and then trying to work our way up to what the larger picture is, right? So I can think of a individual that I worked with who had challenges with really accepting that she had some difficulties with a diabetic condition and accepting help, right? Wanting to be independent, which is great, right? It shows strength, it shows resilience. So really help her understand that getting help doesn't make you any weaker, right? It doesn't take away any strength that you have. It just helps empower you to recognize that this is a place that you need a little more support in, and you can still empower yourself and still achieve what you want to achieve while getting assistance from other people.
Wow, that is so powerful and needed. What would you say to young people that are interested in getting into social work? Like, what advice would you give them?
So I would say just really look within yourself and look at what you want to accomplish, and not so much for yourself, but for the people that you're working with, right? And not kind of set yourself with the expectation that you're going to necessarily solve their problems versus really guide them towards the steps that they need to take to help them help themselves, right? We aren't problem solvers. We aren't the saviors of the world. We can just definitely empower people and guide them throughout the process to help them make decisions that will ultimately empower themselves and lead them to a place where they can do things independently.
So where you're at now in social work, where do you see yourself like in the next 5 years in this industry?
That's a great question. Since I've been in the field over 15 years, like I never thought that I would actually be in the position that I'm in, which is in an administrative management position. So I'm curious to see where the next 5 years will take me. I'm grateful to be a part of the public health system and working with my people and the people in my community in Brooklyn. So I'm definitely open to seeing where my career takes me.
We'd like to hear a little bit more about the path that you took to get to where you are today.
So, I've definitely committed myself to my community since I was a child, being involved in different community organizations, and that has followed me throughout my childhood as well as my adulthood. And when I got into the field of social work, like I said before, I didn't think I would have an opportunity or an interest in working in a management position. And when I was faced with the opportunity to kind of take the position that I'm in my career, I really thought about the community, right? And being a representative of the social work department and behavioral health at the institution that I work with, and being a reflection of the community that I work in. It was super important for me to be able to be the face of the people that I service every day because, like I said before, we work in central Brooklyn and the people that we work with are people that I grew up with or people that I went to school with or people that look like me. And it was important for me to be able to have some sort of stakeholdership in that process, whether it's trying to improve the processes that exist already in the institution or being able to evoke change in some capacity within the department that I oversee and the staff that I help to lead.
Social work, I can imagine, is a very heavy field to be into. So tell me some of the things that motivate you or keep you grounded. What are some of the things that you do to create balance in your life?
So keeping balance really means I work hard and I play just as hard. So finding time to enjoy life, finding time to spend time with family is important and friends. I value my relationships with family and friends just as much as I value the work that I do with the population that I serve.
What about mentors? Have you had any mentors or people that motivated you along the way?
So when I think about, my interest in working with the community, I think the people that stand out to me as really representatives of that sort of work are my parents. From as far as I can remember, I recall them having meetings at their house or going to different meetings at other people's house to work on projects that them and their network worked on really to service whether it was the country of origin that they were from and giving back in the capacity of, providing school supplies to the students in that country or missionary work where they sent doctors back to that country to perform surgeries and provide medical care to the disenfranchised there. So they were really the image that I was exposed to from early on when it came to servicing. My dad was really the president of the Block Association and still is very involved in the community and the community board district. So they would be my inspiration when it comes to putting the needs of other people before themselves.
Oh, wow. So you've been doing social work your entire life, basically. That's awesome. Are there any organizations or groups that you're a part of?
So I do some volunteer work and mentor high school students through the Fresh Air Fund, through their College Connection program. And I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, the Delta Alpha Zeta chapter. I serve as the youth coordinator for that chapter.
So would you like to tell us where people, if they wanted to work with you in particular, where they could find you, what the address is, the location?
So because I don't provide direct care work anymore, if individuals are interested in getting support and treatment, they can definitely come to Kings County Hospital, which is located in the central part of Brooklyn, to get support.
Well, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. And I really, really want to commend you. You're a champion in our city. And congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.